go ahead. Did you want to start with Hine Mato?
Absolutely. Just gonna get this on.
Sure. We're going to start on page 128 of our Mishkan Tefillah Sidur. Shabbat Shalom, Happy Hanukkah. Thanks for being with us. Umanayim Shevet Ahim Gam Yahad. Hine Mato Umanayim Shevet Ahim Gam Yahad.
Sing that again.
Hine Mato Umanayim Shevet Ahim Gam Yahad. Hine Mato Umanayim Shevet Achim Gam Yahad.
How good it is.
How good it is.
How sweet it is.
How sweet it is.
To be together on this day. How good it is.
How good it is.
How sweet it is.
How sweet it is.
To be together on this day. Sing with me.
Hine Mato Umanayim Shevet Achim Gam Yahad. Hine Mato Umanayim Shevet Achim Gam Yahad.
Shalom Aleichem.
Salam Aleikum. Shalom Aleichem. Salam Aleikum. Shalom Aleichem. Salam Aleikum. Shalom Aleichem. Salam Aleikum.
How good it is.
How good it is.
How sweet it is.
How sweet it is.
To be together on this day. How good it is.
How good it is.
How sweet it is.
How sweet it is.
To be together on this day.
Hine Mato Umanayim Shevet Achim Gam Yahad. Hine Mato Umanayim Shevet Achim Gam Yahad. Shevet Achim Gam Yahad. Shevet Achim Gam Yahad. Shabbat Shalom.
Shabbat Shalom.
Thank you, and Happy Hanukkah.
Happy Hanukkah.
Thank you. It's so great to see you all here. We don't get to pick when Hanukkah is. Hanukkah is always like a different time each year. It's always around the same time, sometime between the end of November and the beginning of January. And so I know that there are some folks who would be here tonight who are already off on their winter break, but I'm so glad that you all are here with us and are going to help us create some light tonight and celebrate Hanukkah. Who here is Hanukkah their favorite Jewish holiday? Anybody have it be? Is it anybody's favorite Jewish holiday? Okay, I see a few hands. Hanukkah was my favorite holiday as a kid. It was just so much fun. Other holidays, we have to sit in synagogue and listen to the rabbi talk and talk and talk and talk and talk. Or we have to eat some like kind of gross fish and stuff at Passover. But Hanukkah, it's like we get to eat donuts and latkes and get presents and light and play with fire. I mean, it's like kind of a holiday I feel like meant for kids. And so, one of my favorite things to do at Hanukkah is to sing, and sing really fun songs. Now, I don't get this next song. I've told the cantor, this next song is a little bizarre to me because it's all about a latke who is so excited for Hanukkah. I always think that's kind of like a turkey that's excited for Thanksgiving. I don't understand it, but it is still fun. and we can all pretend to be latkes tonight. So how about we sing the latke song?
And there's a shaker for you if you want, so come shake a shaker to the latke song. I am so mixed up that I cannot tell you. I'm sitting in this blender turning brown. I've made friends with the onions and the flour, and the cook is scouting oil in town. I sit here wondering what will come of me. I can't be tin looking as I do. I need someone to take me out and cook me, or I'll really end up in a royal stew. I am a latke. I'm a latke, and I am waiting for Hanukkah to come. I am a latke. I am a latke, and I am waiting for Hanukkah to come. Oh, every holiday has food so special. I'd like to have that same attention too. I do not want to spend my life in a blender, wondering what it is that I'm supposed to do. Matzah and charoset are for Pesach, chopped liver and challah for Shabbat. Glints on Shavuot are delicious, and gefilte fish no holidays without. I am a latke. I am a latke, and I am waiting for Hanukkah to come. I am a latke. I am a latke, and I am waiting for Hanukkah to come. It's important that we have an understanding of what it is that I'm supposed to do. You see, there are so many who are homeless, with no jobs or clothes and very little food. It's so important that we all remember that while we have most of the things we need, we must remember those who have so little. We must help them, we must be the ones to feed. I am a latke. I am a latke, and I am waiting for Hanukkah to come. I am a latke. I am a latke, and I am waiting for Hanukkah to come. I am a latke. I am a latke, and I am waiting for Hanukkah to come. I am a latke. I am a latke, and I am waiting for Hanukkah to come.
Well, I told you that not only is Hanukkah really fun, but Shabbat is also fun. Now, Hanukkah happens once a year. Shabbat happens every single week. And when we experience Shabbat, it's like going to a wedding is how it feels like to me. Like there are all these people who are seated here, and people are excited because something magical is going to happen. And we learn in our tradition that it's almost like Shabbat is this beautiful bride and is getting to marry God, and they're coming together, and we get to be the guests and watch God and Shabbat come together like we're guests at a wedding. And we sing about that on page 138, L'chadodi.
Shabbat, lekabela, yala, la, yala, la, yala, la, 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 yala, la, 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 yala, la, yala, la, la, yala, la, la, la. שהמור וזכור ודיבור אחד ישמיענו אל המיוחד אדוני אחד ושמו אחד לשם ולתפארת ולתהילה לך אדוני לקראת כלה בנס שבת לקבלה לך אדוני לקראת כלה בנס שבת לקבלה לקראת שבת לכו במלחה כי מכל הברכה מראש מקדם נסוכה סוף המעשה במחשבה תהילה לך אדוני לקראת כלה בנס שבת נקבלה לך אדוני לקראת כלה בנס שבת לקבלה התעוררי התעוררי כי בעורף מיהורי אורי אורי שיר דברי כבוד אדוני עלייך לך דודי לקראת כלה בנס שבת נקבלה לך דודי לקראת כלה בנס שבת נקבלה.
We're going to rise and face the entrance to greet Shabbat as Shabbat comes into the room.
Ba'il shalom ateret bara gam b'simcha ובצהלה תוך אמוני עם הסגולה בואי חלה לך דודי לקראת כלה בנס שבת לקבלה לך דודי לקראת כלה בנס שבת נקבלה
Well, now that we've greeted Shabbat, let's take a moment to greet each other. How about we wish somebody a Shabbat Shalom, introduce ourselves to somebody new, or say hi to a friend we haven't seen in a little while. And when we hear the music start to play, that's when we'll start our service again. So move around. Say hi to somebody. Wish somebody a happy Hanukkah and a Shabbat Shalom. Shabbat Shalom. I'm going to fix some of these really fast. Fix one over here. All right, go ahead, Cantor. If you want to do a little song. Go ahead. Part of the reason that I love Hanukkah so much is that we get to create light. And I see up here all of these Hanukkot at two different tables. Actually, I brought a couple of my own Hanukkot myself. I brought two of my favorites. My fire truck Hanukkah over there that I've already told the Kogan kids are going to light on my behalf. And I was given this one by my previous congregation in Los Angeles when I was leaving, and they heard that I was moving to Utah. They gave me this one as a gift. I don't call this a Hanukkah, though. I call it my Hanuskia. And so, I see a lot of kids here. If all of our kids can come up to one of these tables, I wonder if you can spot which one Hanukkah is. Cantor Brown Levy's. I bet if I try hard enough, I can figure it out. But I'd like to invite up all the kids, and if you are not old enough to play with fire, you can have a parent come up with you. So come on up, kids, and if you need a parent to come up with you, come on up too. And we're going to light our Hanukkah together to welcome in the sixth night of Hanukkah. Come on up. I'll hold on to this one, and then I will. Any other kids? Oh, Emily's. Come on over here, Emily. Oh, Emily, you're right in front of me. All right. I'll light my shamash, and then I'll light somebody else's shamash from my shamash. And maybe we can start to sing the blessings. Go ahead. You guys can come over here. We can start lighting. Can I light your... Here, do you want to light mine? Tracy can help you. Oh,
and again,
is this one yours? So go ahead. Here. Sword. Do you want to come over here? Hey, Liam, do you want to come over here? Yeah, you can. I'll help you out over here. Oh, that's okay. You can just watch out. Don't burn your hair. You can still light one. You want to light one? Come on over here. He lit one. He got it. Over here. All right. How are we doing? After you've lit your Hanukkah, you can come over here and be with me over here. Oh, I see a Hanukkah on this table that has a shamash lit, but not the rest of the Hanukkah. We can fix that. All right, so all kids, if you can, after you light your Hanukkah, come on over here by me. Come on over here. Come on over here. How are we doing? We'll give it a few more seconds. Come on over here, kids. Okay. So now that we have lit our Hanukkot, it's not only Hanukkah, like I said, it's also Shabbat. We have to light our Shabbat candles. So if you want to come over here with me, we'll light those. And then we're going to cover our eyes and to welcome in Shabbat.
Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam asher kiddushanu b'mitzvotav v'tzivanu להדליק נר של שבת.
You can go back to your seats. Thank you. Wow, look how much light we have created. This is so exciting. We are going to turn now to page 144 for the Hatzi Kaddish.
יתקדש ויתקדש שמי רבה.
Amen.
ועלמא דברך חירותי וימליך מלכותי בחייכון וביומייכון ובחייך בית ישראל בעגלה ובזמן קריב ואמרו
Amen. יהי שמי רבה מבורך לעולם ולעולמי יתברך
יתברך וישתבח ויתפאר ויתרומם ויתנשא ויתהדר ויתעלה ויתהלל שמי דקודשא
Pray who?
לעילה מן ברכתה ושירתה
תשבחתה ונחמתה תמירם בעלמא ואמרו Amen. We're going to rise for our call to prayer, the Baruch Hu, which you can find on page 146. Baruch Adonai HaMevorach Le'olam va'ed Le'olam va'ed Yadai lai lai 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 You may be seated. Let's read on page 149. Praise to you, Adonai our God, from whom the evening flows. Your wisdom sets the way on which time and season glide. Your breath guides the sail of the stars. Creator of the tide of time and light, you guide the current of day into night. As heaven spans to infinity, you set its course for eternity. Praise to you, Adonai our God, from whom the evening flows.
Baruch atah Adonai Hamari Varavi.
150.
Beit Yisrael,
Amcha Avta. Torah u'mitzvot, Chukim u'mishpatim, Atanu limadeta.
Al kein Adonai Eloheinu v'shokmeinu, Umeinu nasiach yiflekecha, v'nismach b'divrei Toratecha, v'mitzvotecha elam ha'ed. Yehem
Hayenu
v'yorech yameinu,
Uvahem negeyomam v'layla, negeyomam v'layla. Ahavat ha'al tasir, Mimenu le'olami. Baruch atah Adonai, Ohev Amo Yisrael. Ohev Amo Yisrael. Page 152, Shema.
Shema
Yisrael, Adonai Eloheinu, Adonai Echad. Shema Yisrael, Adonai Eloheinu, Adonai Echad. Shema Yisrael, Adonai Eloheinu, Adonai Echad. Shema Yisrael, Adonai Eloheinu, Adonai Echad. Shem Kevod Mahuto Le'olam Va'ed. Baruch Shem Kevod Mahuto Le'olam Va'ed. Shema Yisrael, Adonai Eloheinu, Adonai Echad. Shema Yisrael, Adonai Eloheinu, Adonai Echad. 154. V'yahaveta et Adonai Elohecha, B'chol levavecha u'b'chol nafshecha u'b'chol me'odecha, v'hayu advarim ha'ele asher anochi mitzavecha hayom al levavecha v'shinatam levanecha v'dibarta bam v'shivtecha v'techa uletecha v'derech u'shochmecha u'vkumecha u'shartam leot al yadecha v'hayu letotafot b'neinecha u'tavtav al mezuzot beitecha u'visharecha למען תזכרו ועשיתם את כל מצוותיי והייתם קדושים לאלוהיהם. אני אדוני אלוהיהם אשר הוצאתי אתכם מארץ מצרים להיות לכם לאלוהים. אני אדוני אלוהיכם, אדוני אלוהיכם. one of the messages of Hanukkah is that this is a holiday about freedom. Because what part of the story of the Hanukkah was is that we were being told that we couldn't be Jewish anymore, that we had to follow the religion of the Greeks. And that wasn't who we were. That wasn't what was right for us. And so the Maccabees fought this battle so that we could be free to practice our religion. And that is one type of freedom, freedom to be yourself. But unfortunately, there have been many times in our history that we haven't had freedom. That was one that was more about religion. But before that, we were slaves in Egypt and we weren't free people at all. We couldn't do anything whatsoever. But then God freed us from Egypt. And when that happened, we were able to cross the sea to the other side. And once we got our freedom, we sang out with joy, Mi chamocha ba'elim Adonai. Who is like you, Adonai our God? And of course the answer to that is nobody. Nobody's like God. God's incredible. I mean, we're all incredible, but not like that. And so as we sing Mi chamocha, especially on Hanukkah, we not only celebrate the freedom that we have, but we also appreciate it and think about who in our world maybe doesn't have freedom, who needs freedom, and who we should be Maccabees and fight for so that they can be free as well. The Mi chamocha is on page 158.
Mi chamocha ba'elim Adonai, mi chamocha ledar b'kodesh, norat tehilot osef eleh, norat tehilot osef eleh, norat tehilot osef eleh, marvotecha ra'uvanecha b'kei hayam livnei Moshe u'Miriam ze'eli anu ve'ameru Adonai imach le'olam va'ed, Adonai imach le'olam va'ed.
We're going to turn to page 160. I saw that we did a beautiful thing in our city last night. Actually, several mayors joined together and saw that it's been really, really, really cold outside. And that's been really hard for unsheltered people or people who don't have homes. And there was a whole prayer service for them last night. And people are doing what they can to help those folks who don't have a warm home right now. And on page 160, we have the prayer of the Hashkivenu, asking God to watch over those who need a bit more protection during these cold nights. Page 160.
Hashkivenu Adonai Eloheinu leshalom, leshalom, v'ha'amideinu shomreinu lehayim. Ufras aleinu sukat shlomecha, ufras aleinu sukat shlomecha.
Amen.
Shelter us beneath your wings, O Adonai. Keep us from all harmful things. Shivenu Adonai Eloheinu L'shalom, L'shalom,
V'hamidenu Shomeinu Lecha.
לחיים ופרוס עלינו סוכת שלומך, ופרוס עלינו סוכת שלומך.
Top of 162.
וישמרו בני ישראל את השבת לעשות את השבת לדורותם בריתם ביני ובין בני ישראל עדי לעולם לעולם כי ששת ימים עשה אדוני את השמיים ואת הארץ וביום השביעי שבת
We rise for the Amidah, page 164.
Adonai sefataytivta ufi yagilatecha. Adonai, open up my lips that my mouth may declare your praise. Yalalai, 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 Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu v'Elohei Avoteinu v'Imateinu Elohei Abraham Elohei Yitzchak Elohei Yaakov Elohei Sarah Elohei Rivka Elohei Rachel Elohei Leah Ha'el Hagadol Hagibor V'Hanora El Elyon Gomel Chasadim Tovim V'Konei Hakol V'Zocher Hasiyavot Ve'imahot U'mevii Ula Libnei V'neihem Le'ma'an Shemo B'Yahava Melech Ozer U'Moshiach U'Magen Baruch atah Adonai Magen Avraham Bezrat Sarah Atah Gibor Le'olam Adonai Mechayei Hakol Atah Rav Lehoshia Mashiv HaRuach U'Morid HaGashem Mechakel Hayim Behesed Mechayei Hakol Berachamim Rabim Somech Noflim V'Rofei Holim U'Matir Asurim U'Mekayem Emunato L'Shenei Afar Mihamocha Ba'al Givurot U'Midom Elach Melech Meimit U'Mehayeh U'Matzmiach Yeshua V'Ne'eman Atah Le'Hayot HaKol Baruch atah Adonai Mechayeh
ata kadosh v'shim hakadosh ukedoshim b'chol yom yehalu hasela Baruch ata Adonai
Ha'el HaKadosh.
This time you can take an opportunity for your own personal prayer, and whenever you are finished, you can be seated.
Special piece just for Hanukkah that thanks God not only for the miracles, but even for the wars. For without the wars, we couldn't appreciate the miracles. Al ha-nisi, ve'al ha-furqan, ve'al ha-gvura, ve'al ha-teshua, ve'al ha-milchamot she'asita lavoteinu. על הניסים ועל הפורקן ועל הגבורה ועל התשועה ועל המלחמות שעשית לאבותינו בימים ההם. Try that. בימים ההם. Your turn. בימים ההם. בימים ההם, בזמן הזה, בימים ההם, try that, בימים ההם, your turn, בימים ההם, בזמן הזה,
Now, I know during Hanukkah and the holidays, a lot of us pray for some really great presents. But what some of us pray for as a present isn't anything physical, isn't a toy, isn't a piece of jewelry, isn't, new TV or anything like that. But rather, we pray that somebody we love and care about who might be sick or not feeling well, will get better. And that's what some people want more than anything during the holidays. And so at this time in our service, we think of those who could use a prayer of healing for the mind, body, and spirit, and those who are in a period of recovery. The Misha Berach on page 371.
Avraham, Yitzchak, Yaakov. Misheberach Imateinu, Sarah, Rivka, Leah, Rachel. May the one who blessed our mothers, may hear our prayer, hear our prayer, and bless us as well.
This week we pray for healing for these members of our community and their loved ones. Gitalea bat Masha Hana, Haim Yosef ben Shana Libby, David ben Sarah Leah, Harav Yehuda Le ben Dina, Miriam bat Hesed, Myron Israel ben Rachel, Michael Cohen, Ginny Cohen, David Dowsett, Yitzhak Vigilski, Megan Magleby, Shari Pedersen, Art Sandak, Penny Spector, and Judy Wolf. If you have a name to add, when I look in your direction, you're invited to share with us. And if you're watching on our live stream, thanks for joining us. You can share a name out loud too. John Greg.
Bless us with the power of your healing. Bless us with the power of your hope. May hearts be filled with understanding and strengthened by the power of your love. Misha berach avoteinu, Avraham, Yitzchak, v'Yaakov. Misha berach imoteinu, Sarah, Rivka, Leah, Rachel. May the one who blessed our mothers, may the one who blessed our fathers, hear our prayer.
Hear our prayer.
Hear our prayer.
Hear our prayer.
Hear our prayer. Hear our prayer. And bless us as well. Hear our prayer. Hear our prayer. Hear our prayer. Hear our prayer. And bless us as well.
Shabbat Shalom.
Shabbat Shalom.
I love Hanukkah. And it was a really special time when I was living in Israel and getting to celebrate Hanukkah in Israel. There were jelly donuts as far as the eye could see. It was amazing. And I remember living in an apartment building and looking up and seeing a Hanukkah in every single window. Well, I was a student there. And so we were given winter break over Hanukkah. And I decided to spend a few days of my winter break. It's kind of cold in Jerusalem in December. Going down to the Sinai Peninsula in Egypt, where it's really warm. It's kind of like Hawaii there, even in wintertime. And celebrating Hanukkah there. Now, I don't know if you've ever been to Egypt, but there's not really very many Jews in Egypt. Most people in Egypt have never met a Jewish person. And if you can think back, that's where Pharaoh was. Not the greatest history when it comes to relationship with Jewish people. And so people told me, be really careful. There are people who don't really know what Jews are, and that you might be a little dangerous for you. And I said, but I really want to light the Hanukkah candles. I said, well, I do so kind of in secret. So I thought about what I was going to do. And I took a bunch of candles with me. And in the middle of the night, I went out into the desert. And I put the candles in the sand. And then built the sand up a little bit to put the shamash. And I lit the candles. And then I went back to my hotel. And then I went out for dinner. Well, I looked out into the desert. And I saw from these tiny candles like this big that were far, far away. The sky was pitch black. You couldn't see anything. And then in the desert, you saw these twinkling lights from my made-up menorah. It was pretty cool. And I thought about, wow, you can really see those lights. Why is that? Well, if we think about it, Hanukkah takes place at the darkest time of the whole year. Not only was yesterday, or 2 days ago, the shortest day of the year, but also tonight, if you look outside, there's no moon tonight. There's absolutely no moon. Hanukkah takes place when there's no moonlight out. So it's as dark as it can get. There's no time of the year darker than today. And so, I thought about this and thought about how I was able to create some light in darkness. That's kind of what we do as Jews. We're supposed to be a light to other people in the world. Now, is anybody here scared of the dark ever? I sometimes get a little scared of the dark. And when we find darkness in our world, I think there's an idea that we're supposed to create light. Now, here I am in Utah now celebrating Hanukkah. And Utah is very different than Israel. Utah is different than anywhere I've ever lived. And Utah is very, 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 very famous because it actually has, believe it or not, the two best choirs in the entire country. The Kolami Choir, and probably the best. And then the choir at Tabernacle Square, as part of the Church of Jesus Christ of Latter-day Saints. I see my friends the O'Learys here who invited us to the Christmas concert this year. And so we got to go, the cantor and I did, and hear this amazing performance that this choir does every year at Christmas. And 10,000 people were there. It goes on for 3 nights, and every night there's 10,000 people there. But it also goes out on television, and millions of people watch this. And this year, they did a really special story. It was about a guy named Nicholas Winton. And Nicholas Winton, during World War II, when things were really bad for Jews in Europe, when people were enslaving us and not being very kind to us, well, Nicholas Winton went out of his way to make sure that Jewish kids were safe. And with the performance by the choir, the message was clear, sent out to millions of people, that when there's darkness, we need to create light. And when we see hatred and bigotry, that's a form of darkness itself. We have to be the light that gets rid of that, just like that guy Nicholas Winton. And that message really kind of stuck with me. And it made me feel so special that people who weren't Jewish were telling that story in order to stand up for us and saying, stand up for your Jewish friends. Now, this week, people have been so unbelievably nice during Hanukkah. It's Hanukkah. How can you not be nice? Right? People have come and dropped off gifts at the synagogue. People have just seemed to be in a more cheerful mood. But I've encountered a few grumpy people. There's always a few grumpy people. And, I don't know, my Christian friends would call them maybe Scrooges, Hanukkah Scrooges or something, or Hanukkah Grinches. And I'll tell you about a few of them really quickly. Like I said, 99% people have been so nice this week. But I have one person who told me, oh, I really want to come to this thing that you're doing, this Hanukkah party you're having. I said, great. But he said, I'm not going to come if girls are involved. And I was like, well, there are girls involved in the party. Everybody's welcome at the party. And he said, well, then I'm not coming. They should leave, and then I'll come. And I was like, oh, okay. Well then. Well, fast forward a couple days later. I posted this post about my experience at the Tabernacle Choir. It was an amazing show. And people wrote all these nice messages. And then somebody wrote a message saying, you shouldn't trust Latter-day Saints. They're not nice people. You should not believe them or trust them. I was like, oh, why would somebody post something mean? And then fast forward to today. Seems like I'm just finding these people. I was in a restaurant, and I walk in, and I heard somebody saying not nice things about gay people in the restaurant. Now, I think the easy thing to do in each of those cases, because I think here in Utah often we don't like to get into what are called confrontations, would be to just smile and maybe look the other way. And we certainly shouldn't ever put ourselves in a dangerous situation. And we have to always think about how we carry ourselves. And we have to think about how we always carry ourselves. But we also, it's easy, I think, the easy thing to do is to just ignore it and say nothing. But if we ignore people who are saying mean things about other groups of people, then that meanness, that darkness is going to spread. Instead, we need to be a shamash. We need to be the light. And so, with this person who told me, I'm not coming if girls come or participate, I said, okay, that's the choice you're making. I'm sorry that we'll miss you. And he was horrified. I said, well, that's too bad. That's not what Hanukkah's about. Hanukkah's about being together and including people in joy, not excluding people. And with this person who wrote mean things about the Mormons, I said, excuse me, they prefer to be called Latter-day Saints. And actually, these are my friends who are really nice people and have stood up for me. And I don't appreciate you talking about them that way. If you're going to do that, please get off of my Facebook. And then with that restaurant today, I went up to the person and said, I'm sorry, you're talking very loudly so the whole restaurant can hear your conversation. And so I'm guessing you want them to. And so I hope you don't mind me sharing. I don't like what you're saying. And what you're saying is actually harmful and hurtful. And what we should be doing is being kind to each other. You don't have to agree with people. You don't have to like folks. But you shouldn't go around spreading mean messages. We can still be kind to one another even if we have disagreements. And hopefully, people who heard that or saw that, maybe it meant a lot to somebody who was a part of one of those groups. And I like to think that some of that darkness maybe went away with a little light I was able to bring. And so I see a lot of our Hanukkot have burned out. I bet, though, I'm not going to do it, but I bet if we were to turn off all the lights in this room right now, we would still be able to kind of see each other. Because even though most of the room would be dark, we would still have this light right here, standing up and being present. And that alone makes it so that we don't have total darkness. And with the Shamashim, we were able to create more and more and more and more lights. I've seen that, by the way. Like I said, look in our own country, how things were more racist 60 years ago, more sexist, maybe more anti-Semitic. I don't know about that one. More homophobic. And maybe by us having conversations and inspiring one another, slowly but surely, we have gotten rid of more and more darkness in our world. So let us all go out this Hanukkah and be a light, create more light, and a much brighter world that gets rid of all this darkness. Happy Hanukkah. And with that, how about we sing and listen to some fiddle and some piano. Oh, Hanukkah, oh, Hanukkah.
join us in the singing. You can clap a little. Clap, 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 clap. Hanukkah, Hanukkah, come light the menorah. Let's have a party, we'll all dance a hora. Gather round the table, give you a treat. Dreidel to play with and latkes to eat. And while we are playing, the candles are burning low. One for each night, they shed a sweet light to remind us of days long ago. One for each night, they shed a sweet light to remind us of days long ago. Hanukkah, Hanukkah, Yom Tov Hashem, Alustikar, Freilikar, Nitan, Chadzain, Tilenes and Lakes, Trilen Mir, Zodik Lakes, Eston Ashir, Geschwinde, Sin Kinder, die denen Kalek Lachan, Sing Talanissim Lekat, Pardinissin und Kon, Dicher Ganzen in Kon, Sing Alanissim Lekat, Pardinissin und Kon, Dicher Ganzen in Kon. And now a Ladino Hanukkah song. I know my children know this because we've been singing this a lot in school. Beautiful song that says how beautiful Hanukkah is. Ocho candelicas, 8 candles for me. Hanukkah linda está aquí. Ocho candelas para mí. Hanukkah linda está aquí. Ocho candelas para mí. This is page 2 of the book if you have it. Whoa. Say una. Una candelica, dos candelicas, tres candelicas, cuatro candelicas, cinco candelicas, 6 candelicas, 7 candelicas, 8 candelas para mí. Many parties will I make with happiness and pleasure. Muchas fiestas voy a hacer con alegrías y placer. Muchas fiestas voy a hacer con alegrías y placer. Oh, that's good. Count with me. Una candelica, dos candelicas, 3 candelicas, 4 candelicas, 5 candelicas, 6 candelicas, 7 candelicas, 8 candelas para mí. Now we get to have good food. Los pastelicos voy a comer with almonds and honey, con almendricas y la miel. Los pastelicos voy a comer con almendricas y la miel. Sing with me, oh, count with me. Una candelica, 2 candelicas, 3 candelicas, 4 candelicas, 5 candelicas, 6 candelicas, 7 candelicas, 8 candelas para mí, olé.
Thank you, Cantor. Thank you, Cantor. It's been lovely to lead alongside you. And Susan and Kelly, thank you for the beautiful accompaniment as well. I want to give a special shout out. I don't know who all did help, so I'm not going to name names just because I don't want to leave anybody out, but I know that we've had people who've been frying latkes and stuff like that and picking up donuts all week long, and I'm really appreciative and thankful to all of you. I know that our religious school parents have fried up 2,000 latkes this week, so and I have eaten about 1,000 of those latkes, I think, so thank you. I've enjoyed them. And I do want to acknowledge our staff that I see here, our our communications director, Lana Stoddard, and Lisa Kaufman, our office and membership director, our assistant religious school director, Tracy Plotkin, our religious school director, Tamara Kipper, and our facilities maintenance director, William Calderon. Wonderful to see you all here. Thank you for all you do. And I do see a couple of board members. Oh, and I want to thank as well the Salt Lake City Police Department for being here tonight to keep us safe as always. We appreciate them. And hopefully one day we'll create enough light that they can do other things on their Friday night or Saturday morning. But in the meantime, we're very grateful that they are here keeping us safe. And I see a couple of our board members here as well, Tessa Vashel, Melissa Jensen. Thank you so much for your leadership here. Did one of the two of you want to make announcements? Tessa, come on down. Here you go. We are just going to start right there.
Okay. Shabbat shalom, everyone.
Shabbat shalom, Tessa.
Thank you, Rabbi Cantor, and to everybody who's been a part of tonight's service. It has been a really wonderful Hanukkah so far. I know I've really enjoyed everything I've been able to be a part of, and I hope you've been able to join us as well. There have been multiple public Hanukkah lightings, fun community events for all ages. So thank you to all of us who've been able to join us so far. There are 2 more events this weekend before the holiday finally comes to an end. So tomorrow at 5 o'clock p.m. is our Q Crew potluck latka party. Say that 5 times fast.
Potlucka.
The potluck. The Q Crew is a group of the LGBTQ members of the Kolami community, where we can have an inclusive space in which to learn, grow, and explore our Judaism together. This is going to be an all-ages event, so please come join us. It's going to be a really lovely event. And on Sunday, for the very last night of Hanukkah, everybody is invited to join us at 4 p.m. We're going to have a very special Sunday schmooze. It's going to be all ages. We're going to light candles together. We're going to play games. And we're going to enjoy some Chinese food made by Chef Rabbi Spector. So please come on out, and it's going to be just a really wonderful evening for everybody. We have a lot going on, so check your emails and the announcements for our schedule of all the programs and the links to the RSVP. Just a note for everybody that due to just the holidays, our office will be closed on Monday, December 26th, and on Monday, January 2nd. Our religious school and adult ed classes are on a brief hiatus right now. Religious school will resume starting Wednesday, January 4th, and our Sunday study session resumes on January 1st. Our adult tefillah skills course resumes January 8th, and our Introduction to Jewish Life course resumes January 12th. So again, this is all on the website, so please check for what is relevant to you. Finally, we have just 1 week left to reach our high holiday appeal goal. During Hanukkah, we are so fortunate, we actually received a very generous matching gift. Up to $130,000 of donations given this week will be matched. So this is a great time to donate to Kolami because your gift will be doubled if you donate this week. No matter how big or small, it really makes a difference. It goes a long way. So if you haven't given yet, please consider giving during Hanukkah. It's a great chance to help us grow. It helps us increase our programming and provide lifelong Jewish education. We sponsor food banks and refugee work. We fight for marriage equality in Israel. We provide a safe and secure spiritual home, and that's really just the tip of the iceberg. I really believe in Kolami, and I would invite you to support our work. It really does make a difference no matter what level you are able to give at. None of what we do would be possible without everybody's support, and we are really, really grateful for everybody. Our future really does depend on you, so please do donate this year. As always, a huge thank you to volunteers, donors, members, and all of our guests this evening for your participation and support. And so with that, happy Hanukkah and Shabbat Shalom.
Thank you so much, Tessa. Appreciate your leadership. We are going to turn now to page 586. Is there anybody in here who's had a birthday or celebrate an anniversary during the month of December? Anyone? Hannah Bashel, come on up. Hannah, come on up. Anybody else? Any other Decembers? No? Okay, Hannah, you get to open the ark solo. I'll walk you through it. It's pretty easy. You go like this. And that's all you got to do. My wife is a December birthday. She was not feeling so hot tonight, though. Pregnancy, that's what happens to you. So anyways, she's not here, but she's watching. Happy birthday, happy Hanukkah, sweetheart. Wish you were here. Open the ark next time, though. Hannah, come on up. We are on page 586 at the bottom of the page. As the ark is open, I'll invite you to please rise. All right, you grab that side. I'll grab this side. When's your birthday, by the way? December 31st. You just made it into December.
שלא שם חלקנו כהם ויגאל עלינו ככל העולם ואנחנו קוראים ומשתחווים עבדים לפני מלך מלכי המלכים הקדוש ברוך ונאמר והיה אדוני למלך על כל הארץ ביום ההוא יהיה אדוני אחד ושמו
At this time, we think of those whom death has recently taken from us, and those who have died in this season years past, and those who we draw into our hearts with our own, who the flame of their memory still shines bright inside of us. If you hear the name of a loved one, you're invited to rise on hearing their name. In the period of Shloshim, the 30-day period of mourning, we think of our member of our community, Leah Kesner, mother of Benjamin Kesner and Deborah Kesner Steinberg, and wife of Ray Kesner, and also Robert Barak, husband of Carol Lee Barak, Ahuva Markowitz, mother of Boaz Markowitz, and Judith Dunn, a local Jewish person who was laid to rest in our cemetery. And this week we think of these individuals whose Yortzite's anniversary of their passing falls this upcoming week. Sophie Andrins, Sadie Appleman, Sanford Baum, Jenny Berkowitz, Nechama Berman, Norman Burns, David A. Dolowitz, Leon Fleischer, Harry L. Friedman, Erwin Gerlich, Jim Gurdon, Louisa Gingold, Malcolm Goldberg, Philip Goldberg, Sarah Gordon, Zalman Gus, Sam Gus, Hal Hallett, Aaron Hirsch, Leroy Hines, Esther Rosenblatt Landa, Charlotte Litvak, Lynn Luskin, Ruth Marcus, Harry Mednick, David Moffchum, Templeton Peck, Donna Rinsky, Herman Duran Rojas, Esther Felix Rosenblatt, Sylvia Rosenblatt, Grigory Shimonovich, Joshua Siegel, Susan Sondak, Betty Spector, Rose Axelrod Stone, Hyman Weiss, Donna Zinnick, and David Zussman. If you have a name to add, I invite you to rise and share with our community. Zichronam Livracha, may their memories be for a blessing. If you're in mourning, it's your tradition to do so. You're invited to rise. We're on page 598. Yit Gadal, Yit Kadash, Shemer Abba, Be'alma Divrach Yeruteh, V'yemech Malchuteh, b'chaychon u'v'yomechon u'v'chayei d'chol beit Yisrael b'hagalah u'v'zman kariv v'imru amen. Yesh me rabba mevarach le'olam omei omaya. Yitbarach v'yishtabach v'yitpa'ar v'yitramam v'yitnaseh v'yitadar v'yitaleh v'yitalal shemeda kedusha b'reho le'ela min kol birchata v'shirata tushbechata v'nechemata dam yiram be'alma v'imru amen. Yehi shlama rabba min shemaya v'chaim aleinu ve'al kol Yisrael v'imru amen. Osei shalom b'imrumav Yaseh shalom aleinu ve'al kol Yisrael v'imru amen. May the source of peace and peace to all her morning comfort the bereaved among us. Again, we say, Amen. We're going to conclude on page 669 with the words of Zechariah, not by might.
Okay, I'd like a little clapping going. 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3. Oh, we changed the key. Sorry, gonna change. Here we go. Here we go. Clap. Here we go. 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 1. Not by might and not by power, but by Spirit alone.
Ruach.
Shall we all live in peace? Not by might and not by power, but by Spirit alone. Ruach. Shall we all live in peace? Everybody clap and 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3. Yeah. The children sing,
La, la, la.
the children dream, and their tears may fall, and they'll hear them call, and another song will rise, and another song will rise, and another song will rise. Let's all clap now. 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3. Not by might and not by power, but by Spirit alone.
Ruach.
Shall we all live in peace? Not by might, not by power. Shalom.
Please rise for Kiddush.
Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam, borei peri hagafen.
Amen.
Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam, asher kiddushanu b'mitzvotav v'ratzavanu, v'shabbat kodsho b'ahava v'ratzon, hinchilanu, zikaron lema'aseh v'reishit. Ki hu yom techila למקראי קודש, זכר יציאת מצרים. הירנו בחרת, ואותנו קידשת מכל העמים, ושבת קודשך באהבה וברצון הנחלתנו. ברוך אתה אדוני מקדיש השבת. Amen.
L'chaim.
L'chaim.
And we have here our challah. If we can sing the blessing over the challah.
Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam, hamotzi lechem min haaretz b'te'avot.
Everyone, Shabbat Shalom and Happy Hanukkah.
Shabbat shalom, Shabbat shalom, Shabbat, 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 Shabbat shalom. Shabbat shalom, Shabbat shalom, Shabbat, 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 Shalom.